The Dead Zone TV Adaptation, 25 questions and answers list for meetup prep. Scene 1. The ice skating accident. What did the boys play on the snowy ice? The boys play hockey. Who was supervising the kids' game? The children were playing under their coach's supervision. Where do they play? Indoors or outdoors? They play outdoors on the frozen lake or river. What did the young Johnny try to show the young girl, Sarah? He tried to show her his skating skill backwards. What does the expression, "watch it, kid," mean? The expression, "watch it, kid," means be careful or pay attention to your movements. What happened to Johnny after his collision with a hockey player? Johnny couldn't avoid the collision because he was skating backwards. His head hit the ice and he felt unconscious. He started murmuring words and phrases. The coach noticed the trouble and hurried to the scene of the accident. Did Johnny have some kind of a vision from the nearest future? A premonition? Yes, he did. He had seen what was going to happen with the boy who went to pick up the forgotten hockey stick on the ice. He warned the boy not to go for the stick in his half-unconscious state. When the coach helped Johnny to get up from the ice, Johnny could not recall his own premonition phrases. He felt good enough to skate back to Sarah. Scene 2. The boy is under the ice. Why did the boy go to pick up the hockey stick? The boy went to pick up the hockey stick because back then it was a valuable piece of sporting equipment. His parents won't buy him a new one as easily as it is nowadays in the era of 24/7 online shopping and marketplaces with fast delivery. Who saved the boy from the water? His coach and other hockey team members saved him. At least FSMU people had to lie flat on the ice to rescue the boy from the water. What ice-breaking tool did the coach use to rescue the troubled hockey player? The coach used an old-fashioned ice skate shoe blade to rescue the troubled hockey player. He punched through the ice using the sharp edge of the shoe blade and got the boy out of the water. What exactly did Sarah say about the situation with the boy? She said, "Just leave it there. Guess he didn't hear you." Or, she guessed that, the boy, or they hadn't heard Johnny, when he mentioned to just leave the hockey stick there on the ice. Scene 3, moving 20 years later when Johnny is a biology teacher, Sarah is a music teacher in the same school. Why did Johnny and his students climb the tree in the schoolyard? Johnny and his students climbed the tree in the schoolyard because they were studying photosynthesis. The Johnny teacher decided it was the perfect way to learn and understand the topic. What does Sarah teach at the same school? Sarah teaches music at the same school. Scene 4, meeting Mother in the house and Reverend Purdy. Whom did Johnny meet back at home? He met his lovely mother and Reverend Purdy. Johnny's mother is his biggest sponsor and follower. Scene 5, the amusement park and Wheel of Fortune. Why does Sarah discuss Mr. Purdy with Johnny at the amusement park? Sarah discusses Mr. Purdy with Johnny because Johnny doesn't have any respect for the Reverend. Purdy uses Johnny's mother as a money bag for his public and political campaigns. Do you know the meaning of the expression, "this is a ripoff"? The meaning of the expression, "this is a ripoff," is that something is a bad deal, a fraudulent business or transaction. Con artists of all kinds steal money or fool people and give them overpriced goods. Did Johnny use his psychic abilities at the Wheel of Fortune? Or was it just a fluke? Yes, he did. Johnny used his psychic abilities at the Wheel of Fortune. It was not just a fluke. Scene 6, planning the future with Sarah. How many kids did Johnny want with Sarah? Johnny wanted to have his entire family hockey team of kids with Sarah. What does Johnny mean when he said that he wants to elope? To elope means to run away secretly with the intention of getting married with Sarah, usually without parental consent. Scene 7. Leaving Sarah's place under the heavy rain and getting into a car crash with a semi-truck loaded with lumber on a dark, slippery road. What were his last words to Sarah before the car crash? Johnny's last words to Sarah before the car crash were, "Love you." What did Johnny see in front of his eyes right before the crash? Johnny saw his sweetheart Sarah in his mind in the moment of collision with the lumber truck. Scene 8, waking up in the hospital after a 6-year coma. Have you noticed, probably haven't, that the first cartoon episode on TV in the hospital room with Johnny was about the Wheel of Fortune? What a coincidence, don't you think? Yes, I've noticed the cartoon on TV, but had no idea it was related to Johnny's situation and his miraculous awakening. Now I see the connection. How many patients are in the hospital room with Johnny? There are only 2 patients in the room, including Johnny. Do you know what "Are you ready for the sponge bath" means? It means the following. Sponge baths or bed baths are used to bathe people who are bedridden or unable to bathe on their own due to health reasons. Giving a bed bath involves washing and rinsing the entire body one section at a time while the patient remains in bed. Johnny was in a coma for a very long time, so the nurse was bathing and talking to him. Why did the nurse mention God when Johnny grabbed her armrest all of a sudden? She mentioned God by saying the word Lord because it was a miracle that Johnny was still alive after 6 years in a coma.